Well, AOC acts like a spoiled brat once again. So, a couple days ago, I made a video about somebody else who was acting like a spoiled brat, Antonio Brown. But, he's out of the public eye now, so his day to day actions really don't affect us anymore. Now, he's a good example of how you should not act. He acts like a spoiled kid throwing a temper tantrum. He doesn't treat other people well, and he doesn't take responsibility for his actions. He's everything you should teach your kids not to be. However, somebody else that acts like a spoiled brat, though not to that extent, some of her decisions can affect our day to day lives as she's a sitting member of Congress. AOC, Alexandria Ocassio-Cortez, or as I call her, Alexandria Occasionally Coherent. Although I think that's giving her too much credit. I'm not sure she's ever coherent, but that's her initials, so that's what we got to roll with. Anyway, Little Miss Occasionally Coherent likes to push masks and vaccine mandates and other ridiculous nonsense to combat this sickness. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's got the same name as beer, Corona. But anyways, so she goes on vacation in Florida and goes out in public and is eating lunch without a mask. Well, obviously you have to eat without a mask, but she's out in public without a mask all the time, which, makes her a hypocrite. And when members of the media or other politicians call her out for her hypocrisy, her reaction is that of a spoiled teenager. Her reaction is, Republicans just pick on me because they're jealous they can't date me. Oh, wow, somebody's awful high on themselves. I mean, that kind of reminds me of, the 17-year-old rich daddy's girl in high school who, that would be her reaction if somebody made fun of her terrible new hair dye coloring. You just don't like it because you can't date me. No, we don't like it because it looks stupid and we're calling you out because you're a hypocrite. And it's not the first temper tantrum she's thrown, acting like a little brat, when she first gets elected to Congress, when she was introducing that ridiculous Green New Deal, she starts slamming her hands on the table and saying, I'm in charge until somebody comes up with something better. No, you're not. I mean, it kind of reminds me of, the little kid that didn't want green beans, so he slams his fork on the table demanding French fries. Or when she was, had the gavel in her hand and somebody is testifying before her, and if somebody says something that she doesn't agree with or facts that prove her narrative wrong, she sits there and slams the gavel and, tries to drown them out, which that kind of reminds me of, the little 2-3-year-old preschool age kid who's out in the garage with his grandpa, and grandpa's putting together a workbench and, nailing stuff together. So he grabs a random hammer and starts beating on a random chunk of wood because it looks fun. And not to mention, and this is kind of a bit of her throwing a fit and her brains, she threw a temper tantrum when she found out that she couldn't be Bernie Sanders' running mate when he was running for president the second time because she wasn't old enough. She didn't know that. Also, she didn't know the 3 branches of government when asked about it one time. Now, those are 2 things that not every American citizen of this great United States knows. They should, but they don't. But an elected official at the federal level should definitely know those things. I mean, I'm not even going to say any of her quotes because, you'll just be dumber for hearing them, and I'll be dumber for saying them. Most of the time I forget what she says about halfway through her statement because I'm just scratching my head going, huh? Did those words just come out of her mouth? Yeah, they did, and I just am flabbergasted. I know people that are dumber than her, or as dumb, but they're not elected officials to Congress, There's some dumb politicians, but she definitely takes the cake. It's ridiculous. That's why I call her occasionally coherent, and again, way too much credit. So, anyways, I just would like to say to the viewers of her district, you're better than this. I know you are. I have not given up hope on you yet. But anyway, those are my thoughts on her latest temper tantrum, as well as just her in general. It's ridiculous. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and have a good day. Chaos in Southwest Nebraska, out.